Good morning. Having some technical difficulties this morning with my internet connection. We are on page 24 of the Slight Edge, starting with the section Diets Actually Do Work. I've heard people describe the Slight Edge as a sort of a magic bullet, but that's not quite accurate. The Slight Edge is not a magic bullet because you don't need a magic bullet. There is no magic bullet, no quick fix path to success. All you need is good information, which is already available everywhere, and the right catalyst that will allow you to absorb and apply that information. The Slight Edge is that catalyst. Marketing tactics try to seduce you with the promise that you will lose 30 pounds in 3 weeks or make money while you sleep, but you won't. You might have some success at first, but the results won't last long. And when that happens time after time, it's tempting to just give up on great information like that, which is a genuine tragedy, because with the right catalyst, that information could give you fantastic results. Diets do work. Gym memberships do pay off. Solid business plans can make you a wealthy person. And there's a great deal of personal development material out there that will make you a happier, more productive, more successful, more fulfilled person, just not without the Slight Edge. The Slight Edge is not just good information. It's not another self-help success book packed with some revolutionary new best way of doing things. You don't need that. Nobody needs that. All the new and better information is already available. It has been for years. This book isn't more information. It is the catalyst that will help you put that good information to good use. It is the missing ingredient that you need for all the personal development books, how-tos, and life guides to work. The Slight Edge will help you apply all the information you learn from the health book, the sales book, the investment book, the positive attitude book. The Slight Edge is the book you need to read, highlight, and reread along with your fitness class, your career planning, your continuing education, and pursuit of new skills. The Slight Edge will prepare you to be able to absorb all that other information, guidance, and education from all those other books, classes, situations, and experiences. You don't need more how-tos. You need something to make the how-tos work for you. This book will help you take whatever information you want, whatever how-tos or strategies or goals or aspirations, and turn them into the life you want to be living. This book is what I wish I had in my hands back on that golf course when I realized I wasn't living the life I wanted. What I wish I'd had in my hands the night they towed my car away. Whatever your deepest desires are in life, I want you to have them, and I know you can. This is my passionate belief, and I've seen it happen too many times to doubt it. But you need a place to start. The Slight Edge is that starting point. It's the first ingredient. Personal stories from the Slight Edge readers. After reading the Slight Edge, I decided to apply the philosophies into every area of my life. As a father, I bought a copy for my kids and started imparting the wisdom of things that are easy to do, easy not to do. As a doctor, I started giving copies of the book to my patients who were dealing with hopelessness. I tell them it's Prozac in paperback form. As an author, I implemented the Slight Edge principles into my books as well. For every role in your life, there are Slight Edge applications that will make a huge difference. Baker 4, DO, Edmond, Oklahoma. The next one. I've used the principles of the Slight Edge to improve my physical fitness, starting with 1 push-up and 1 sit-up a day, adding another each day and building to over 100 per day. I've used it to help pay off debt, build my savings and investments, and improve my relationships with my children. Stan Snow, North Yarmouth, Maine. Essential points from Chapter 2. No matter how good the information is, it won't do you any good unless you have the right catalyst that will let you apply it effectively. Your philosophy creates your attitudes, which create your actions, which create your results, which create your life. Successful people fail their way to the top. Do the thing and you shall have the power. The Slight Edge is the first ingredient, the catalyst you need that makes all the how-tos work. Chapter 3, The Choice. I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. You get busy living or you get busy dying. Andy Dufresne in The Shawshank Redemption. A wealthy man nearing the end of his days summoned his twin sons to his bedside and told him that before he died, he wanted to pass on to them the opportunity to experience the richness of life that he had enjoyed for many years on the earth. If I could do it, so could you. I'm sorry, rewind. If I could do so, I would give you both the world, he told his boys. But of course I can't. Instead, I'm leaving you both with a gift. The boys both wept to hear their father speak of his approaching death, but he had bade them in a hush with a wave of his hand. I'm giving you each a purse to finance your adventures. What goes into each purse is your choice. The man lifted the pair of beautiful lacquer boxes from the bedside table onto his lap, then reached inside one and held out his hands to his sons. One hand grasped a sheaf of 1,000 crisp new $1,000 bills, $1 million cash. In the palm of his other hand sat a shiny new copper penny. I offer the same choice to you both, this $1 million or this single penny. Whichever you choose, you must leave it in your purse until my butler's care for 1 month, under my butler's care for 1 month, to give you time to think about how you will use it. Whatever you do not take will be returned to my estate, which I'll leave to charity. One more thing, he added. If you choose the million, you may, if you wish, draw against it as credit with my bank in town. If you choose the penny, you can also draw against it. But every day you choose to leave the penny's line of credit untouched, the butler has instructions to double the contents of your purse for as long as it is under his care. Now go rest and think. Here, take this book with you to pass the evening hours. Tomorrow morning, come back and tell me your choice. He gave them each a copy of the little book of stories, kissed them both, and sent them on their way. Late that night, the first boy lay in bed, musing over the day's events. Which should I take, he wondered, and why is our father giving us this choice? Unable to sleep, he turned on his light and looked around for the book his father had given them both. He figured a little reading would help pass the time, and who knew, maybe he'd get sleepy. He found the book and for the first time noticed the title embossed on the cover in simple gold lettering, The Choice. He muttered. The choice. Sounds mysterious. Choice between what and what? Flipping through the book's pages, he saw that each of its many chapters was no more than a single page long, and at least at first glance, their titles didn't appear to have anything to do with each other. It seemed like a random assortment of fables or children's stories. He was about to toss the book aside, but some nudge from within whispered, "Go ahead, read a little." He turned back to the first story, which was called The Water Hyacinth, and began to read. The Water Hyacinth. Once there was a little water hyacinth that grew near the edge of a big pond. It had dreams of seeing the other side of the pond, but when it murmured to itself about these dreams, the water just laughed and lapped at it dismissively. The other side, indeed, for a tiny plant that couldn't move, impossible. The water hyacinth can typically be found floating on the surface pond in warm climates around the world, and it is a beautiful plant with delicate six-petaled flowers that range from purplish blue to lavender to pink. This particular plant was a perfect specimen, very beautiful, very small, and very delicate. However, and this was something the water didn't know, the water hyacinth is also one of the most productive plants on Earth, with a reproductive rate that astonishes botanists and ecologists. A single plant can produce as many as 5,000 seeds, but its preferred method for colonizing a new area is not to cast its seeds into the vagaries of wind and water, but instead to grow by doubling itself, sending out short runner stems that become daughter plants. The first day this little water hyacinth appeared, nobody but the water even noticed it was there. Nobody noticed it on the second day either, as it doubled, nor on the third or on the fourth, as it doubled again and then once more. It was so insignificant, in fact, that for the first 2 weeks, even though it doubled in size every day, you would have had to search hard to see it at all. But by day 15, it had reproduced to cover barely 1 square foot of water, a tiny dollop of lavender pink dotting the pond's grassy green surface. On day 20, 2/3 of the way through the month, one person passing by the pond noticed a little patch of foliage floating off to the side. but mistook it for the lost bath towel or perhaps a discarded piece of wrapping paper. More than a week later, on day 29, half the pond surface was still open to water. And on day 30, just 24 hours later, the water surface had totally disappeared. The entire pond had been overtaken by a rich blanket of purple-pink water hyacinth. The boy imagined the pond covered with a lush, gorgeous plant, not sure what that has to do with a choice. He said out loud. He stretched and yawned. That's enough reading for one night. He turned off the light and settled against the pillow. A minute later, he was sitting up again, switching on the light. Something prodded him to keep going and to take in more of this book. Turning the page, he came to the next story, this one entitled In the Pail. Once again, he began to read. And that's where we'll stop for today. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Monday.